Bettina Ortiz y Mena was not accustomed to waiting. A former Miss Venezuela and Miss Universe runner-up, she is now the wife of Miami Auto Parts tycoon Herman Ortiz y Mena.
At every restaurant, she chose to grace with her presence. She was always greeted with reverence and wished to the exact table she desired. Today, she wanted the corner table on Sip Sip, her favorite lunch spot on Harbor Island.
She wanted to sit on one of the comfy canvas director's chair and stare out at the gently lapping turquoise water while eating her kale Caesar salad. But there was a large noisy group taking up the entire space and they didn't seem in much hurry to leave. Bettina fumed as she glared at the tourists happily savoring their lunch.
Look how tacky they were. The woman overly tanned, wrinkled and saggy. None of them properly lifted her buttocks.
She felt like walking up to their table and handing out her dermatologist's business cards.
And the men were even worse, all dressed in old rumpled shirts and ripped jeans, wearing those cheap clothes. Why did such people have to come here?
Feeling that she had been patient long enough,
Bettina stormed into the kitchen, the fridge on her crochet pushy kaftan top shaking furiously as she made a beeline for the woman manning the main stove.
Jolly, honey, what's the deluge? I've waited more than 15 minutes for my table.
Sorry, Bettina. It's been one of those days. The party of 12 showed up first, just before you did.
Julia replied,
But the terrace is your prime spot. Why on earth did you let those tourists take up all that space?
Well, that Taurus on the right side of the table is Duke of Glencora. His party just boated over from Windermere that he's Royal Hisman. He seamoored off the coast. Isn't it the most handsome sailboat you've ever seen?
I'm not impressed by big boats.
Bettina huffled, although secretly she was rather impressed by people with big titles.
from the kitchen window, she surveyed that party assembled on the table with new eyes.
These Aristo-British types were such a strange breed. Sure, they had their Savelli rose suit and their heirloom tiaras, but when they traveled, they looked so painfully frumpy. It was only then that Bettina noticed two tan well-built men in suit sitting at the adjacent table. The guys weren't eating but sat watchfully sipping glasses of seltzer water.
I assume that the Duke's security data. They could be more obvious. Don't they know that we are billionaires here on Brilland, and he is how we rule?
Bettina chuted.
Actually, those bodyguards belong to the Duke's special guests. They did a whole sweep of the restaurant before the party arrived. They even searched my walk-in freezer. See the Chinese fellow seated at the end of the table?
Bettina squinted at the balding, 70-something Asian man dressed in a nondescript white short-sleeved golf shirt.
Oh, I didn't even notice him. Am I supposed to know who he is?
That's Alfred Chang.
Julie said in the hushed tone.
Bettina giggled.
He looks like their chauffeur. Does he look like that guy that used to drive Jane Wyman around in Falcon Crest?
Julie shook her head a tight-lipped smile.
From what I hear, that chauffeur is the most powerful man in Asia.
What's his name again?